Hello, everyone. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to wait until someone gives me the thumbs up that we got sound and video. Bucho has given me the okay, and so has, it's interesting. Chris Bates didn't hit me up. I'm sad, Chris Bates. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, but I am not your keeper this evening. We are back with the very first Symphony Sonata of the year. Woot woot. I know it's March. Listen, send thoughts and prayers. 2024 was doing the most, and so was 2023. But we are here with the Symphony Sonatas, and this theme is going to be Arkham. I cannot tell you what's going to happen during this stream because not knowing is honestly part of the fun. So if you're watching live, be aggressive in the chat. Throw us out your ideas, tee up the commentary, flirt with us, hang out with us. Chances are we're going to engage you, and Evan might be pulling inspiration from you guys to incorporate into the game real time. Couple quick announcements. One, in celebration of the Arkham release, woot woot, we are offering a giveaway. We are going to be offering a free hardcover copy of the new Arkham supplement published by Chaosium that is going to be signed by the entire cast that you see here. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to get that off because I'm not mailing a book to Mike and he's not shipping it back. I will tell you how that's going to come together in one of the future announcements here. But if you would like to win this cast signed copy of the book, you need to enter Bang Arkham. That is exclamation point Arkham into the chat. We will draw the winner at the end. Couple quick notes about this giveaway, guys. One, I am only shipping to continental U.S. Trying to ship to Ireland last time cost me like $60 for a pound book. It's really a struggle. However, if you are abroad, you can still enter into the giveaway. If you win, bless somebody here that's in the United States, and I will be happy to put this book in the mail to them. So again, to enter exclamation point Arkham, and that gets you in for the giveaway. So how the hell am I getting signatures from Mike that's across the pond, somebody else that's like in the Baltimore area, and I think Bucho's feel like is in somebody's Missouri or Louisiana or one of them states down there. We're all going to be at Chaosium Con. If you're not familiar with Chaosium Con, this is our third year running this con in Ann Arbor. So you can get your ticket if I can get a link out really fast. Copy, paste, bam. Get your ticket now to join us for a weekend of, hold on, I'm going to read this exact copy. Get your ticket here for a weekend dripping with cosmic horror, essential rooms, swashbuckling adventure, and chivalrous quests. Really, just come hang out with us. Mike Mason's going to be at the bar. He's running VIP games. There's going to be a Symphony LARP that's going to be going for backers. We're hosting a speakeasy meet and greet situation. There's a whole RuneQuest freeform LARP going on. It's a great con, and it's a great time. So definitely, if you're available, this bad boy is happening April 18th through the 21st here in Ann Arbor. The link is in the... Wait a second. Heinrich, you're supposed to be editing right now, baby. Why are you in my chat? Go back and edit. You said you were going to go edit. You need to be going to go edit. It's a Sonata. We yell at everybody. So yeah, check us all out at Chaosium.com. And last announcement, Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon. So if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of us, please back us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Whew. Let's get to the real sexy part of this particular adventure. Let's unveil this cast. Cast, I'm going to call you out. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you. And Evan, what's going to be our question of the day that all the cast members have to answer?
Oh, Jesus.
I know. Yeah, it's on you now.
Question of the day is, what are you most looking forward to at Chaosium Con?
That's a great question. Oh, look at you. Bucho, you already know what it is. Production Daddy, hit us.
Hey everybody, I'm Bucho, production daddy at Symphony Entertainment, author, artist, DJ, bon vivant, pervert, you know the deal. You can find all of my art, my books, my DJ mixes at the Linktree link that's going to show up in the chat at some point.
Oh yeah.
If you would, go my latest book, Under a Black Rainbow, pretty dark stories. I think the quote from Doc today was, "Why would you do this? Please do it again to me," after he read the second story in the collection. So that's a great compliment. What am I looking forward to at Chaosium Con? Honestly, it's looking like my Saturday is going to be light, so I'm really looking forward to just hanging out with people. Hanging out with people in the bar area. in the lounge area, possibly taking in some of the talks more so than I have in the past 2 years. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Next up, Mike, tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and what are you most looking forward to at Chaosium Con this year?
Hello, my name's Mike Mason. I am the creative director for the Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game at Chaosium, where I've been doing that for some years. And I also am the primary author on the Arkham, so I'm very interested to see how this game goes tonight. What else do you want to know? So, Chaosium Con. I'm looking forward to two things in particularly. One is directly relevant to the convention, one is not. The one relevant to the convention is I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Woo!
And talking and chatting about stuff to do with games and the like. That's number one. Number two, there's a really cool coffee shop not in the hotel that serves something called Diablo coffee, which we can't get in the UK, but you can get it there, and it's amazing. So that's the other thing I'm looking forward to.
Diablo coffee. Okay, I have something new to look forward to at Chaosium Con. I love it. And Evan, the love of my life, baby, you already know what it is. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you. You have to answer your own question, baby. What are you looking most forward to at Chaosium Con?
Yeah, that's a great question. I am looking for. Mike took my answer, which is hanging out with people and talking about stuff. So my backup answer is I'm trying this new thing this year. I'm running it's listed as a seminar. It's going to be like 12 people, but trying to help people. I was going to title it "Unfuck My Scenario," but essentially it's helping people figure out if you're stuck, if you need an idea. We're just going to figure it out. We're going to sit together. We have some tools. We have some prompts. We have the keeper cards that Chaosium puts out. And those of us who are really good at spinning up ideas real fast are going to be there for you to come to me and be like, you know what, I have a great idea, but I can't get it to the end, or I've got a great ending, but I don't know how to get there, or I'm completely stuck and I need something that isn't Nyarlathotep. And we will get you there. We will lay out tarot cards if we have to, and we will get you an idea, and then you'll go write it, and then the next year you'll show me what you wrote, and we'll get it up, published and run it at the con. So it's going to be great. Please show up to that when event registration opens. And what I also have this book with a number of other fantastic authors. This is In Strange Seas from the last big release. This is for Regency. If you enjoy Master and Commander and Horatio Hornblower and Jane Austen, this lets you do all of that. And then I have this other thing in print. No, that's the wrong one. That's Nathan's. Dreamhouse is what I call a spiritual sequel to The Haunting, which I will not tell you why it is called that, because that would be telling.
Oh, but it's so good, y'all.
It's a really fun one.
It's so good.
And it's double bound, upside down bound with John Hook's Of Wrath and Blood, which is another sequel to The Haunting. So go on Miskatonic Repository, check those out. And I think that's it.
Oh, amazing. For you guys who were interested in Evan's event at Chaosium Con, I did just include a link into the chat with it. Event registration opens up on March 30th. That one's going to sell out fast, so definitely prioritize that in some of your front clicks. If you've had an opportunity to collaborate with Evan on a project, you'll know that he can get you over the finish line, and he can do it pretty beautifully. So, due to this being a purely improvised game, I am not able to offer you the viewer content warnings. However, I have polled the players for red lines. We understand that cancer and we understand that spiders are completely off the table. Cast understands that the X card is in play. You can visibly X us here in Zoom, or you can put it in the Zoom chat, and Evan will make adjustments as necessary. We will also be using Bridgett's favorite safety tool, which is the red, yellow, green traffic light method. That can be called by cast. That can be called by the keeper. It can even be called by chat. So if at any point anyone is like, I don't know how we're doing, feel free to call a color check, and the cast will audibly confirm with the green, we're good to go. Yellow, I don't like it, but I can tolerate it, which means we are not good to go. Or red, which is a full stop. Same as yellow, we are not good to go. With that being said, I am officially out of your way. Evan, the floor is yours.
All right, fantastic. So we're going to get into this real quick. I want to show you, this is Arkham. This is where we live and where possibly we will be dying. I cannot figure out where my camera is in relation to this map. I did promise Matt Ryan I would shout him out for this map. It is phenomenal. The map work in this book is incredibly strong. And what we are going to do is use a feature of this book, which is that it's about 40 pages of setup material and then like 200 pages of really detailed locations and gossip and random things, and we're going to trust ourselves to that random table. So what I'm going to do, Mike, because this is your fault, I am going to ask you to roll a d10.
Okay, here we go.
Actually, no, don't roll a d10.
Oh.
Roll 2d10.
Oh.
2d10.
Because this is your fault.
I'm not, it's 2d10, not a d100, yeah? Okay, so I'm adding them together, which gives me 17.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to figure out. So that's leading to a piece of gossip, and I'm going to figure out what that relates to.
Okay.
While we do that, to cover my own butt and give me a moment to look through the book here, we're going to go through each investigator. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, brief description, who you are, what your occupation is, where you work, and then I'm going to ask you to talk about something that's happened in your recent past. So let's start with Bridgett.
Okay. Hi. I am playing Alice White. I guess you can call me a private investigator, but I offer various service to various clients that more or less fall into the private investigation aspect. I was born in Connecticut. I am currently living in Arkham. I am 33. I'm an African American woman. That's pretty hefty for my size. You can tell that I probably played sports or played the streets. One of those two things growing up. I tend to be no nonsense, but I do have a pretty wicked sense of humor. Bad things happening to people is pretty normal, and if you find the humor in it, kind of makes it go down a little bit easier.
So, Alice, lately you've taken on kind of on retainer a job as the hotel detective for the Lewiston Hotel in the French Hill neighborhood. Now, the Lewiston Hotel is kind of famous backhandedly for being the second best hotel in Arkham, and it's not really grand enough to need the services of a hotel detective. So I'd like to know why Lewiston Hotel has a hotel detective.
I mean, I'm borderline offended that you just said that out loud because I'm not technically on payroll at the Lewiston Hotel, but I'm on payroll. I mean, Keeper, let's just be super honest. Certain establishments hire outside of the norm to handle some of their problems quietly. You're not surprised when certain restaurants or establishments have their own private medical services. So why are you surprised that the Lewiston Hotel happens to have their own private investigatory services? Some things need to be handled quietly, and it's a lot easier to have one consistent person that you can trust on retainer than, potentially spreading all of your business, all around through various departments. I know how to keep my mouth shut, and I'm good at my job.
Good at your job, discreet. That's what we look for. Norman, tell us about yourself.
I'm Norman Coffin. I'm a photographer here in Arkham. I've been doing it for probably about 10 years. Yeah. Tall guy, kind of lanky, forgettable features, which helps make it easy for me to get into places.
Mm.
And I'm pretty unobtrusive. I'm mayonnaise white. Like I get into places very easily. I'm inoffensive, and kind of forgettable, which is how I like it. I like to be able to do my work unimpeded.
Now, you in your role as a photographer for the Arkham Advertiser, right? There's two papers in town, two major papers, the Advertiser and the Gazette. They're in sort of a war with each other. So your editor is not shy about sending you to go photograph, salacious or scandalous or strange things, anything that will get the 1920s equivalent of clicks on the newspaper.
Mm.
In the last year or so, though, you photographed something that didn't wind up getting published. It was ruled a little bit. Well, tell me about it. What weird thing did you photograph, and why was it spiked?
It was spiked because technically the picture that came out was a little ruined. Not sure why, because there was nothing wrong with my camera. There was nothing wrong with the film. Like um, I'm very buttoned up when it comes to taking care of my equipment because it's my entire job. But I had been taking pictures of what I thought was a high-ranking official having an affair, which I believe, at least I saw something more insidious happen through the window from the street. But again, once the picture came out, it was somehow ruined.
Mm. Yeah. So you
So
probably
I had no proof of anything.
yeah. Interesting. That be interesting to find out whether that how that affected your job and your esteem at your job. Earl, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your operation.
Right. Okay. I'm Earl Endicott. I am barkeeper at a speakeasy, which is fronted by Green Oak Furniture is our front, but down in the cellar, there's a side door. Give it the right number of knocks, and you can get in. I'm a short and pugnacious chap. I was in the war,
Mm.
so I'm not long home, only a few years. I came back from the trenches and didn't really know what to do. And I've just kind of fallen into bar work and spend my time mostly hanging out and dealing with the clientele in the speakeasy. And there's two types of clientele. There's the nice people and the drunks who you have to then throw out. What's troubling me is while I was in the trenches, one night it was very quiet, and me and my mates started to hear this music. It was like somebody thought somebody had like a gramophone playing, but it was we're in the trenches, just on the other side of no man's land, and there was no way there was a gramophone player, and it wasn't like that kind of music. It was strange, yeah. It gave us this chill right down our spine. It really unnerved us, and then next thing there was a barrage, and we forgot all about it, and that was fine. But 2 nights ago, I started hearing the music again, and I can't get it out of my head, and I don't know why.
I'm gonna tell you what song that is once the chat tells me what song it is. Um, but it's one thing that I would like to know is you often when your friend the official bouncer is not there, you often have to throw people out of the joint. Who do you throw out most often?
Well, there's a chap. I don't know his real name. He's called Greasy Spoon. He's a vagrant. He hangs around, and the problem is, I felt sorry for him at first, and gave him a drink, and he had some cash, and he's been back a few times. But he just every time he just stays longer and longer, and he starts running out of money very quickly, and then starts hassling everyone else to buy him a drink. And so it's inevitable that I have to end up throwing him out, and it's just become this running battle now between me and him.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye out for Greasy Spoon. Excellent. So so I should mention it is 1922. Arkham, the standard default starting year is 1922, and we're not going to do that tonight. But one of the wonderful things that allows you to do is to play through the canonical Lovecraft and Lovecraft adjacent events that happened in Arkham. So you can play through them straight. You can adapt them as your own. But by starting in 22, none of those exciting things, none of the things up on Sentinel Hill or the things in the Witch House or anything like that have happened yet. So it's kind of up to you whether and how those happen and the extent to which you and your play groups are involved in that. So, all right. And Mike, for your information, the music that has been playing in your head is a violin concerto, but not following any progression that you like. It makes sense when you hear it, but when you think about it afterwards, you've come to jokingly call it the violin concerto in Q minor
Oof.
because it's coherent, but it doesn't make sense
Yeah,
in a sense.
yeah.
Great. So we are going to find out. You are all, let's say, at Earl's place, just for the sake of we like to blow off some steam. You're familiar to each other around town. There's sort of a natural. You haven't gone as far as, for example, joining the Eye of Amara or some other investigative society, but there's a natural alliance. Alice, when you've needed photography backup, you and Norman have worked together. Earl, you've tipped off one or the both of them about strange things around town that might benefit their career or helped Alice find someone she was hoping to track down. So you're used to working together. Um, and when someone, pardon me a moment, when someone kind of stumbles in to the to the bar, Thank you. That's not a hard word to remember.
It is in 2024. It's a struggle every day, honey.
They kind of mumble for a moment, and you can see that they've definitely been they've had better days. They come in, they're wearing a bulky coat. Let's say it's late spring, so this is an unseasonably warm coat.
Mm.
And they come in, and it's Greasy Spoon comes in, and so my early, you're already clocking that, but he's kind of holding his arm in a strange way, and doesn't look as belligerent or slimy perhaps as he often does, as he kind of ambles over towards the counter.
If you've got no money, you can turn around and walk straight out.
Yeah, I'd like to, but and he kind of slumps over and lays his arm out on the counter, and it's heavily bandaged, but not it's stained with something kind of greenish or greenish blue.
What have you done with your arm? What's that?
And he mumbles, been up to the oh, hang on, sorry, just lost it a second ago. I had it 1 second ago, sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, went to get a meal at Crawford's, ran into some trouble, and falls over on the ground and goes into convulsions and like frothing at the mouth. And,
holy shit!
Like kicks. Let's say Norman, he kicks your stool out from under you. He's just completely.
Well, at this point, like if I saw him fall to the ground, then I would, as he kicks my chair out, like I would probably try to stand up and check on him, to see if he's okay. You said there's like blue and green on his bandages.
Yeah, so he's got his arm wrapped up. Nothing, not professionally, just maybe like a torn like a torn tablecloth, kind of.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Hey Earl, could you give me some water and a rag real quick? I realize he's a problem, but it looks like he could use a better bandage on his arm.
I in my head, this is all a ruse to get a free drink. Okay. However, I'll play along. So I will pour some water and also a quick shot of whiskey as well. I'll get a clean, rag from under the bar, and I will come round to the side of him. I'll do that.
Okay. And are you like tending his wound, or what are you doing?
Well, by the time
I should say his bandaged arm.
Yeah, by the time it takes me to do that, then Alice and Norman will have probably had a couple of seconds kind of before I get there, is all I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm at this point, like I'm kind of looking at the bandage and like checking his vitals basically to make sure, like, has he passed out? Has he dropped unconscious? Just checking his general well-being.
Yeah, so he's he seizes just full on like grand mal for about 30 seconds, and then calms down, but he doesn't immediately snap to consciousness. He's kind of in a very, very vague state, but so conscious but non-responsive, let's put it that way.
Okay. I'm going to start unwrapping the bandage from his arm to see exactly what's happening underneath.
Great. And as you do so, do you have a luck score? Did we figure that out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you make a luck roll for me?
Uh-oh.
No, not even.
Okay. Good for you.
Nope.
Good for you, babe.
Mm-mm.
I'm proud.
Yeah. So you kind of get distracted. Maybe somebody picks up the stool behind you, and it makes scrapes against the floor or something, and as you're unwrapping it, you kind of brush against his bare skin, um, and get some of this gunk on you. At which point, make a power roll for me.
Oh, okay. We're starting off strong.
we're
Let's
right
go.
at
We
it.
only have an hour. I'm not
Let's
going to
go.
kill you, so I
Let's
won't start now.
go.
Yes, that is a success.
Okay, so very briefly, the you out of the corner of your eye, the mirror up behind the bar, you think that you see a little bit of like heat haze or something like a little mist over there, but then that's gone, and there's so much going on now. You got a guy, drooling, and grand mal seizures are not pretty, so all the attendant fluids are kind of happening on the floor. So who cares? That was nothing. You get it off of him, and it looks a little bit like an acid burn. You being a chemist, I think would have, or chemistry is one of your hobbies.
Yeah.
I think would have some experience of what happens when you get a chemical on you that you're not supposed to. So the top layers of his skin are not exactly eaten away, but kind of gelled. Like there's this kind of like squawk sound when you
Ugh.
take the last layer of bandage off.
Ugh.
Yeah, we do body heart here, baby.
Yeah, we
the
do.
band.
Let's go, baby. Let's rock.
And you can't tell exactly how far down it goes, but you notice two things. One, that a lot of it is still there, but it doesn't look solid, and it's weirdly reflective.
What? Why?
Earl, can I get that towel from you real quick?
Yeah, okay. I'm coming around. I'll give you the towel. I'm coming around to his head, as you're kind of down at the side with his arm, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I come around to his head. I'm kind of looking at his face. Can I? I want to, because I still think. I mean, although I'm plucking the arm and thinking maybe this isn't a ruse, but he's a bit of a trickster. So I'm looking at his face. I'm trying to looking at is his eyes open, or are they kind of seizing or shut or?
Yeah, they are open.
But I'm looking for sort of a telltale sign that he's putting this on. I'm kind of guessing he's not, but I'm just checking it out.
Sure. So you're checking his eyes.
Can I use my I got a reasonably good first aid. Can I interpret the situation as in he is seizing and all this kind of thing? Can I kind of confirm that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Get an idea about it.
Yeah, this you've seen chemical injuries, that kind of stuff in the war, and this definitely because that level of trauma, it's not a very big one. Someone asked, is it the shape of a handprint? It's not the shape of a handprint, but it's about the size of a handprint. So that level of trauma should not result in the experience that he's having if he was simply bleeding, right? If he was just cut or scraped or whatever, it would have been wrapped up, he would have been stable. So it could be chemical, it could be biological, it could be trauma, shock from some other kind of thing, but it seems legitimate.
I think whatever we do, it something, some acid or something chemical it's got on his skin. What we should not do is touch that. You haven't touched it, have you, Norman?
No, not yet.
Good.
No.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, I think the best thing is just to bandage it up, and then we can maybe take him outside, and then maybe get him to a hospital or something, but mainly get him out the bar. That's the main criteria here.
Well, before we bandage him back up, I want to get a picture of his arm before we bandage it, just in case.
I want to see that.
Sure.
Just in case.
We'll always remember the sound.
Nobody will believe me if I say it was a green and blue acid wound, because nobody. Yeah.
So Keeper, he comes in with the oversized jacket, and I'm leaning up against the wall flirting with some guy, and I look over my shoulder and I go, no, I'm not working tonight. And then he goes to the bar and he passes out. I'm just like, I'm not working tonight. Earl can have the time of his life. He's working tonight. I'm not working tonight. Then he collapses onto the floor and starts seizing. And at that point, I'm just like, God damn it, I have to work tonight. So the one thing I am not doing is going on to ground zero with Greasy Spoon that is on the ground. What I'm going to immediately start doing is almost like with a certain level of predation is going to start handling crowd control. So that's going to be keeping people back, keeping people quiet. But the one thing I would love to do, if I can, you can adjudicate the rule as you want. I want to be able to find either a medical professional that I know that's in this room that should not be in this room but is in this room, or I would like to find one of those people that moves things quietly. Because the one thing that we can't have is this guy dying, or am I hearing acid? I didn't hear acid. That's weird. I'm just going to acknowledge that for the moment. I can't have this tied back to Earl because suddenly Greasy Spoon becomes a liability for every single professional or every single criminal in this room. So we need to get him moved as quickly as possible. So as I'm moving around the room, keeping people back, keeping people quiet, if I can lock down on either a medical professional or someone that moves people, I would like to pinpoint that person right now.
I would love a luck roll from you.
I have a 75 luck. We can do this.
We're going to find them.
44. We're good to go, baby.
Great. So you find this is so you were going to find them regardless. What I was wondering is what kind of relationship you have with this person. You are going to find somebody that you have used before. There might be somebody on your sheet that we can use. I don't remember who I gave you as your significant person. But if not, don't worry about it. But it's what I'm thinking is, I hate to delve into Tarantino too much, but the one guy I remember in Pulp Fiction was the Wolf.
Yeah,
the guy that they call to get rid of people. So it's just like this totally stoic person standing there, like immaculate suit, would be out of place anywhere because of his demeanor, but is especially out of place in Earl's speakeasy behind a furniture store.
Okay.
But he happens to be standing around and he's watching all this go on. Totally impassive.
So as I'm on my kind of like recon circuit, as soon as I get next to this individual, I'm just going to come like right up onto his left side. I'm going to reach into my pocket, pull out my billfold. I'm going to hand him his standard fee, and I'm just going to hand it to him very discreetly. I'm not asking him to do anything. I'm not articulating anything. He knows what he does. I know what he does, and he's watching the situation. I'm just going to hand him the money. Please.
And he looks at you. He nods, sort of pats you professionally on the shoulder, says, "Trundle him out the back." And he stops by, and Earl just asks if he can use your telephone briefly.
Sure. Yes, please do.
He says, "Say no more. I know where it is." And he's never been to your office. You have no idea why he knows where it is, but he knows where it is.
Yeah. I'd see him like glide over in his immaculate suit and just get the message straight away that just do what he says. I also I've seen it is a somewhat chaotic in there, I imagine, and luckily I've poured myself a whiskey, so I will down that now to just steel myself against whatever happens next, I guess.
Yeah.
As I try and pour some water into Greasy Spoon's mouth, because water's clearly better for him.
And I'm going to just pause for 30 seconds because people that are looking to use Arkham for campaigns, we've been playing for 10 minutes and see how many little branches we've already spun out that can contribute to campaign stuff down the road, right? Like all of this stuff can be used. And all I did was have Mike roll on the gossip table one time. So this is gold. This is gold. Really good job with the book. Let's keep going. So he's been trundled outside. Just because I enjoy this stuff, this is for me. The arm wound is not sloshing as you move him, which might have been a concern, right? It is staying where it is, but it does occasionally ripple like the placid surface of a pond, let's say. So you get him outside. What would you like to do? You're out in the back behind the furniture store.
Earl, I have Wolf on retainer. He should be able to help us out with relocating your buddy here.
My buddy.
Yeah, I at this point narrow out the bar. I will gently kind of tap his cheeks to see if I can get wake up. What's going on? Wake up. Are you there?
Yeah. And he comes to kind of groggily. Says, "Yeah, oh, Sorry about that, Raul. Did, didn't mean to embarrass you. Ha.
No, no, look, look, man. What what happened? What happened to your arm? You know,
Well,
do we need to get a doctor? What's going on?
no, I'll be fine. Maybe and you see like he looks back like he's about to ask for some whiskey, and then for the first time in his life thinks better of it. Um, no, I was up at Crawford's. That's the swank place downtown, and I went in to see what I could, if I could make a meal of something there, and sat down with this lovely lady named Mary, and we got to talking, and things were going pretty well, and then I don't know. I guess I must have had a little too much to drink, and came to wandering around here.
And Mary was gone.
Oh, I don't know. When I came back to when I came back to my senses, I was in your place.
You
I
don't
don't know when I left.
you don't remember getting from Crawford's to here?
No, no.
Okay.
And I should note that it's
I do want to, stares in his eyes. Look, the experienced bartender going, is he drunk? Is he really, really drunk?
Mm.
yeah. So you're looking at his eyes. I'd like a spot hidden.
Oh, here we go.
Do we know how far apart Crawford's is from
Yeah, we do.
from Earl's Bar?
Good question.
So
Extreme
downtown.
success.
Hey.
So downtown is over here,
Okay.
and French Hill, where you guys are, is over here.
Oh, so
Here.
Oh,
So he would have had to have crossed, let's say,
he did some
Peabody
walking.
Avenue,
Wow,
across the
wow.
Miskatonic, and then down several blocks here.
Jesus.
That's it's a hike. Okay.
Yeah,
That
it's
is a
walk.
hike.
It's a walk. It is also fairly late at night. It's probably around midnight. So you don't necessarily have the operating hours of every restaurant in Arkham in your heads, but Crawford's may or may not still be open.
I think so. From Norman's viewpoint, he doesn't care if Crawford's is still open at the moment, but he is interested in possibly backtracking that way to see if there are possibly drops of this blue green whatever that might lead him back down that direction.
Interesting.
Okay,
Okay.
sure. Did someone make a spot hidden? Sorry.
Yeah, I got an extreme success.
Okay. So you're looking in his eyes and you're like, is he drunk? What is going on? Um, and then you kind of, it's the thought sneaks up on you. Didn't his eyes used to be brown? But they're this really captivating blue green. Um, and they are reflecting you much more than they should. So you see yourself in his eyes. You see um, you see maybe another image possibly superimposed over your own face in his iris. And if you'd make a power roll for me.
Oh God. Okay.
Fail my power roll.
Okay, you hear some familiar string music in your head, just softly, just like it's being played, a half a block behind you.
I start saying to you two guys, I start saying, I'm sure his eyes, and then I just stop, and I just away with the fairies for a minute or two, you see me kind of visibly shiver, and his eyes have changed color. This isn't right, and this all isn't right. I start to freak out.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at his eyes closer. Like,
Yeah.
I don't I don't think I've ever met this man before. Although if
Sorry,
I've
Mike, let's do a sand roll real quick. Sorry.
no, you're good.
I was caught up in enjoying the freak out and forgot.
Yeah. It was good. It was a delicious freak out. It was fun.
Of course, what? only just seen my sanity score.
Uh
What is your sand score?
6 is currently my
Wait,
sanity.
that's okay. That should be an error. Like it
Okay,
should be.
my starting sanity says 20. My current is 6, which is
Okay.
fine.
No, that can't be right. I mean, it should be whatever your POW is. I
Evan,
apologize. That's
Okay,
keeper
Evan is,
error.
Evan's clearly out
that's,
here trying to kill us early.
that's okay. That means I have a mighty 20 points of sanity. That's
Is your
okay.
POW only 20? Oh, no.
It's
That's
only
so
20,
delicious.
which is
Lovely.
still good. Which is
Wow.
fine. I have made my sanity roll, and I rolled a 27, so I
Great.
failed my sanity.
So that
roll.
is a fail. And
So
so
close.
I think you've described your freak out pretty well. We can roll with that, but I just wanted to document in this case the 2-point sanity loss.
Okay.
Oof.
But yeah, and I will say that whenever I create characters, I just roll it. We never re-roll it, so we just live with what we get. Right.
Okay.
That's how we do. So, all right, Norman. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I was going to say, so as Earl starts talking about his eyes, I'm also going to look into his eyes. I've seen this guy in the bar, but I don't know that I've ever seen him up close to where like I'd remember his eyes. Like that's not something that I would recognize about somebody different. But like, yeah, they're pretty blue. Have they not always been blue? I don't understand. I just look. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty
meant
eyes.
to be brown. They're meant to be brown. His eyes have always been brown.
And a POW roll from you too, please.
Oh, the cascading power rolls.
Oh yeah, that's a failure.
Okay, great.
That's a failure.
So you mentioned that you wanted to track back any drops or anything like that. You have a little track skill, don't you? I think you have a little track skill.
I mean, it's a basic.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
basic
still it's more than
10%.
0.
Yeah.
So you see out of the corner of your eye up the alley, a standing out like little drops of paint, almost like you took a photo once. I mean, it was a black and white, but you took a photo once of algae in the sea. You know, the fluorescent plankton. And it kind of looks like that. It's like little drops of this fluorescent blue-green stuff leading out of the alley.
I'm gonna stand up and head that way.
Yep.
And go inspect the algae.
Yeah,
as it
and
were.
let me know if you have any desire to do anything besides following that trail, because no, you don't.
Oh, okay. Yep.
No,
Norman.
No, I don't.
Norman, where are you going?
I see some of the blood that he dribbled on the way into the bar. I want to see where it goes.
Good idea. I mean, he was with what was that, Mary? I mean,
Yeah.
is she down there? I mean, we should check. We should check. Your man Wolf is still around, yeah?
Yeah, after he makes his phone call, he's going to have a buddy that's going to show up. The buddy's you don't care about the finer details. He is going to be fine right here.
Look, Susan's on the bar. Let's I've got, I can take half an hour. Let's see what's going on. I'm really worried that this Mary is lying in a pool of this acid or something down this alley or something.
Okay.
Yeah. She might also be in trouble. Yeah.
I'm going to very abruptly just step in between. It is Norman. I'm Alice. Norman and Earl, and I'm going to look Earl in the face, like dead in the face, like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you good enough to do this?"
I'm fine. We let's just make some sense out of this. It's all a little crazy, but I look, the rational explanation to all of this. Let's just find out where he came from, and then we can put it to bed and move on. Yeah, I'm fine. Nothing's the matter. It's all fine. Honestly.
It's just, Earl, you're not giving me all this fine vibes right now. Because there's a rational explanation, right? So we're going to attack this rationally,
it's
right?
All fine. It's all fine. Yes.
Okay.
And if I just keep telling myself that, it will be fine. Yeah.
It will be.
Yeah, sure. It's just all fine.
Okay.
What was that?
Keeper, if you will allow,
Yes.
I will also like to take pictures as we go.
Please.
with each new instance of I'm just going to call it algae at this point, even though it's probably not. Like every new instance of that we come across, I want to take a picture of that location.
Sure. Yeah, don't get hung up on algae as a descriptor here. It was just the fact that it's phosphorescing to you, I should add.
I hate this.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the other two, perhaps the flashes are damaging your sight, but you actually don't see these spots that he's following. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. That might be useful to you. Anyway, so we're going along. The trolleys have stopped running. A couple hours ago. So your options are basically to drive if one of you has a car, to get a cab, or to hoof it.
Greasy Spoon doesn't feel
Perlman,
like the type.
you found you can see these drops of the stuff that was on Greasy's arm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't. Maybe it's my eyes. I can't quite see him. But if you lead on, let's follow you. Let's find them. Let's see what's going on.
You don't see the spots.
I can't. No. Where am I looking? Where am I looking?
Gesticulate at the spots that I see on the ground or on the wall.
I look. At this sort of scene where I look, and then I turn my head slowly to look at Alice, who's looking, I guess, in the same spot.
Yep.
And we just have this eye contact with one another, and just like, I don't get it.
So you make your way out of the alley behind the furniture store. As you do, you hear Wolf come out the back door, and you're turning the corner and moving up, and you just hear behind you kind of a squishing noise, and but we're gonna cut ahead. You've now gone uptown to downtown because it's north of where we were. You kind of, following along behind Norman. He's taking pictures. You're walking along. You get to Crawford's. Crawford's, when you get there, appears closed. And we've got, 12 minutes? So I've got 12 minutes left to kill you.
Yeah, you can. So we did the whole 10 minutes of introductions bullshit, so you can take it to the hour.
Okay. So we pushed it a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
You're okay.
So Crawford's appears closed.
Okay. I'm looking around. All the way here, I've seen none of this kind of algae stuff, blood, mutant blood, whatever it is. I look at Crawford's. It's all dark. It's closed down. It's shut up for the night. I think. What do I think? I think I'm going to go around the rear. The kitchen might still be open. There might be cleaning, or there might be. You always find out about places at the back of them. It's where the rubbish is and the trash. And so I'll even say to you two, I'm going to check around back. Can you see if is anyone in there as I kind of go around the side, I guess.
So from the street, it looks dark and closed and empty. But since you are taking care to look, you don't need a spot hidden for this. There are people sitting inside. There are let's say three people. You can just see them. So if you're standing in the front, right, you're kind of checking the front window before you walk around the back. You can see them at the back bar of the place. It's this really gorgeous bar. It's got gilded columns on either side and kind of gold chased marble and everything on the countertop. It's got this huge mirror behind it, which is really reflects the whole room. And you can definitely see three people in there, one behind the bar, two at the counter. You don't have to. Well, it depends how interested in you are you in looking at them.
I mean, I would probably be pretty interested in looking at them.
Okay, great. So someone roll a spot hidden then.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Squishy.
I'm going to spend 4 points of luck to make that a success.
Yes, it's a one shot. Don't hold back on your luck, baby.
Right.
Yeah. So you you see them. You're like, okay, there's probably like some employees, finishing out the night, having a nightcap, and you're maybe gonna follow Earl around the back, but the more you look at it, they're not moving.
Oh God.
They're not moving at all?
They are not moving at all. And let's see. Did you just got a regular success?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They're not moving at all.
I'm gonna remove the light fixture from my
Oh,
camera.
okay, cool. Go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take a picture of the shadows and just see if I can get anything from inside the venue.
Cool. And we know that none of these are going to be visible till you develop them later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the afterlife, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Cool.
In the afterlife.
What a douche. What a douche.
It's so disrespectful.
I mean, look, I have a simple assignment.
Ah.
All right, so you go around the back. Alice, are you going around the back as well?
Yeah, I'll run around the back with Earl here.
Earl.
Great. And the kitchen door is propped open. There's somebody shimmed it open with like a box or something.
Okay.
Is there the usual kind of visible sound of pots being cleaned and floor being mopped after the end of the shift kind of thing? Is there any of that going on? Like in the kind of
Absolutely not.
sense? Yeah.
It's just
It
silent.
is dark and silent inside.
I look at Alice and say, I'm gonna go in, see what there's gonna be somebody in there still, isn't there? That maybe you saw Greasy Spoon earlier, and this Mary maybe still here. I don't know. I kind of I don't rush in, but I pop in, put my head around, expecting to see somebody in there kind of thing, or at least hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you go in. Are you taking care to be very quiet?
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm making a stealth roll. I'm just entering, but I'm not being loud. I'm just entering normally, I guess.
Yeah. So you don't like cause a cascading pile of ladles to fall.
Oh, good. I was worried about that.
Unless you make me make a look roll.
No. But you notice as you go deeper into the kitchens that there is more than just the sound of your movement, more than your shoes on the floor, more than maybe brushing up against the counter. There's very faintly that same goddamn melody that's been bothering you.
I don't know I'm doing this, but I start quite almost silently kind of almost humming it.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time I guess Alice becomes aware of it, I'm not aware I'm doing it, but I am actually kind of lowering along subconsciously to it. I'm just kind of, it's taking hold of me in that sense. And like,
Yep.
So going through the kitchen going, la!
And Norman, you're I guess closest behind him in the Scooby line here.
Yeah, Earl, like
Earl,
what are you doing?
What?
I mean, we don't need to make a loud entrance. We just got to figure out what's going on.
What are you talking about? Stop
singing,
talking. You're the one making all the noise.
You're singing very loudly, and it's wonderful.
No, I'm not.
Earl. Come on, babe. Let's bring this down, please. Just a bit.
I start being really quiet. What are you talking about?
That's okay.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
Hear what, Earl?
The music. You can hear it, yeah?
Hey, listen.
You must be able to hear it, yeah?
We probably should have had this conversation back over at Earl's spot, but we followed a guy who's seen shit that only he sees, and now you're hearing shit that only you hear. The fuck is going on with you two tonight? What's happening?
Look, I'm fine. It's just you two aren't hearing it.
That's correct.
That is correct.
I don't hear anything.
I love it. It's like, I'm not lost. I know where I am. I just don't know where anybody else is.
That is the shutdown order for every bout of madness going in the future. It is not me. It's y'all.
Do I see any of the phosphorescent drops anywhere, Evan? Keeper?
Yes.
Do I see any of that in the kitchen? Is it leading somewhere?
Yes, it leads out beyond the kitchen into the service hall and apparently towards the dining room.
I'm gonna tap Earl on the shoulder and I'm gonna point towards the drops. Like, Earl, do you not see these?
One, I go, what? Then you do that. No. But the music's coming from in there. The music, and I kind of like, I'm convinced now the music is coming from the restaurant itself. So I'm gonna like go in the direction that Norman's pointing. Anyway, basically, and Norman can make up his mind whether I'm following his direction or just doing it anyway.
I think if it all leads to the same place, both of our imaginary things, we follow both of them.
Yeah.
I think that makes the
Yeah,
most
the
amount of
answer's got to
sense.
be in here, Norman. It's got to be in here.
Carry on. Let's press on. Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah. And you emerge into the dining room. So you're now, you're at the back of the dining room facing the front end of the restaurant where the street is. And the back bar, the main bar is off to your left. You can't see it super clearly. You'd have to, walk around a little bit to see it. It's recessed a little bit. Microphones will love it when you hit them.
Oh, don't they? They're the best. Tap, tap, tap.
Don't you test the Symphony stream. It'll go down in a heartbeat.
Honey, listen, don't play with us.
don't push it, man.
Stay with me, baby.
Right, stay with me, baby. We break without request. Don't put one on the order.
Yeah, and the drops are leading off to the left, as is the music appears to be played from. Well, there is a bandstand there, like one of the kind of riser bandstand, but it's empty.
Do we see
the music is not quite from that stand? Yes.
Do we see the figures from our vantage point here?
Yeah, the still people.
You can see. You can see kind of their backs, right? So like the fronts are concealed by the wall if we're thinking about where we are here, but their backs are kind of poking out. And you see a pair of, let's see how to do this. You can see it looks like someone's sitting on top of the bar with a spotlight shining down on them.
What?
And you've got so you can see their legs, kind of like, imagine like a torch singer, right? Like sitting on the bar, the legs are hanging off the bar, and a real dazzling pair of this kind of bluish green shoes, this kind of aquamarine material on these legs. But well, that's enough for now. You tell me what else you want to know.
I want to know that these figures are still not moving.
The two sitting at the bar are not moving. The one sitting on the bar, the pair of legs appears to be animate in some form.
Appears to be animated in some form. I'm gonna get closer to the bar, and I'm gonna try to figure out what's going on the bar.
Yeah. And as you move forward, Norm, I'm gonna let you have this one first. The scene is clear. There is this ethereal spotlight shining down on this woman sitting on the bar. She looks like the most glamorous of the new generation of Hollywood starlets, but she looks visibly to be like 85 years old. I don't say as gross. I was stalling for time. I have nothing against 85-year-old people. But she is sitting there with this, very like spangly, low-cut blue-green dress. And she's got this kind of coquettish smile, looking down into the faces of two apparent dressed as men sitting at the bar who you cannot see, and the bartender who is, I should say, was gazing up at her. You're not sure what he was thinking or doing, because now what you have is something dressed in the clothes of the bartender that is where the face, let's say, and the hands should be, is just this gelid kind of aquamarine material rippling slightly. And it's at the moment when you have this thought, it looks like it's rippling happily, that your sanity gets knocked askew. So I would like to have a roll from you.
Yeah, I don't care for most of the descriptions you just gave.
That's
Not
fine.
now
That's
one
not
of
my
them.
job.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, that's a hard success
Okay,
on the sanity.
excellent. So that's just let's say that's just 2.
Okay. I'm gonna look.
And oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I want to look up at the woman and go, "Are you Mary?"
And she opens her mouth to answer, and what you hear is not her voice. What you hear is this swell of strings, like, but not like, well, you're not sure what Earl was singing earlier, but if an atonal kind of achromatic swell of strings not of this earth could be said to have a jazz feel, if you put, like, Artie Shaw in front of a celestial chorus of malformed performers, this is kind of what you get. And she smiles at you with this open mouth, kind of emitting this song, let's call it, looking just joyfully at you, and extends a hand to you. And I would like a hard power roll from you, sir.
Oh, good luck, babe.
Yeah. That would be a critical failure.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you.
So
Good
we're
for
going to
you.
pan away from you for a moment.
Yeah, that's a whole ass fumble right there.
You can get a drink or whatever. You're fine. And we're going to find out what Alice is doing.
Okay, so I have walked in this room. I'm kind of like fascinated by these still bodies, because I've walked into plenty of rooms with those, and I know better than to just oh, they're probably dead. We're going to leave those alone. Do I hear the sounds coming from this woman's mouth? Have I seen that? Have I experienced that, I should say?
Yes, I would say yes. When actually, no, at first, no. You see
Okay.
her, her attention is focused on Norman.
Okay.
You don't hear anything at the moment. You do see something up with the giant mirror behind the bar, though.
Okay. So I am just going to I'm going to put my hand on the holster that I keep on my hips, just ready to pull out the revolver if I need to. If I had hackles, they would be standing on edge. I recognize that something is very wrong. And those who know me well knows that Alice is about 30 seconds from walking right the fuck out of this room. I'm going to follow up behind Norman just for a second. And the mirror is curious, right? Fucking mirrors.
Yes,
It's
it is strange.
I need to reconcile the mirror before I leave. So I'm just
Sure.
gonna look in the mirror just very briefly to see what it is that feels weird about it.
You'd be mad at yourself if you didn't look.
I had
You'd
to at
always
least look,
wonder.
right?
What could go wrong?
Right. Just let me reconcile that and I'll leave.
Absolutely nothing.
And you see, at first you see the reflection of the restaurant behind you.
Okay.
And it is a posh restaurant. It's fancy. It's got columns. It's got, whatever tablecloths that fancy restaurants have. But the more that you look at it, first of all, the tone isn't quite right. It was clear a moment ago, but color-wise, everything is taken on kind of that blue-green aqua-ish tint. The mirror is kind of a little bit phosphorescent. It's got little dots. You hadn't seen the dots that Norman had seen earlier, but now you see them kind of like around the edge of the mirror, like the way that they always show Hollywood stars have those vanity mirrors with the big lights around the edges. And suddenly in the mirror, the restaurant behind you is full of people, entities. There's nothing back there. Now in the mirror, nothing back there. In the mirror, full of well-dressed something gazing up at this woman at the bar in rapturous applause. And whatever it is they're looking at, they seem delighted. And you have never wanted to be farther away from anything that delightful in your life. So I would like to have a sand roll for you, and we're going to see how that pans out for you.
There's a 41 under a. Are you fucking kidding me?
I like how this is going.
My sanity is a 40, guys. I missed that shit by 1 point in the 11th hour of this goddamn game.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I love Call of Cthulhu. Here we go. I failed, is what you're looking for.
Yeah. So I trust you to give me the most entertaining possible fail here. So what do you do with this failed sand roll?
Really? Yeah, we were gonna put this shit on me? Okay. So I look in front of me.
This is for the vampire game. So
that's fair. That's very the heart sense. I look in front of me and I realize that reality is not matching the reality behind me. And I look in front of me and I realize that reality isn't matching. I am immediately looking for something to ground myself, but in this bout of 11th hour sanity, I realize that the only way that I can ground myself is to become one with the mirror. Yep. So I move up to the mirror, like hands on it, and put my head towards it as like trying to calm myself down, because maybe the reality behind me is real. My friends have been seeing things on no, and I'm trapped in between that pendulum of me trying to find grounding in which reality is real.
And I've got good news and bad news for you.
I know you do.
The good news is that the reality is no, I'm sorry, this is the bad news. The bad news is the reality is real and it's very interesting. The good news is that from your perspective, what's about to happen happens very quickly. The rest, Norman, you don't notice this. Earl, Norman, you're otherwise occupied. Earl, yeah. You see her put her hands and forehead against the mirror. And it's kind of like the movie magic where you sink into a mirror with there's ripples and everything. But then there's just nothing. Like maybe like a slight sizzling sound, a little squelching, like maybe kind of forcing a fried egg into a small hole. But then sorry.
I'm done. I don't want any more audio descriptions from you tonight, Evan. You're done.
I can't with you today. I cannot.
She's just gone. She's just gone. Except if you'd like to know more, you can roll a spot hidden for me.
Of course, I would do that.
Fried egg being pushed through a hole. Dog.
I just failed it, so I'm going to spend 9 points of luck to make a success, because obviously it's very important that I see what I need to see at this point.
Yes, I think. It is very important that, much like the end of The Shining, there is a vaguely Bridgett shaped thing shown in the mirror, vaguely Alice White shaped thing. No, you look quite happy, sitting at a table and gazing up at this entity sitting on the bar, and you're happy and she's happy and everybody's happy. Earl, are you happy? You don't look happy. Is something wrong, Earl?
I'm seeing I'm taking all this in at the same time, but my primary kind of like what's going through my head is I can hear this music, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I, even though I can't see the source of the music, I'm kind of telling myself it's this woman on the bar is the cause of the music, or the mirror.
Yeah, you are dead certain that is a mortal lock.
And so I kind of like, never mind the mirror. I go up to the woman. I'm literally kind of like, like this, and I make the music stop. Make the music stop, please.
And she gazes down at you with this profound joy and tenderness. And I would like, let's see, have you failed the last power roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you look into her eyes, looking up, and you are washed over by this music in the way that the sea washes over a sandcastle. And you feel so much of yourself eroding.
Ooh.
Do I literally kind of feel the vibrations of the music rippling through my molecules?
Absolutely. Kind of
spreading them apart.
And they're rearranging you
Ew.
into a more pleasing configuration. And you have the pleasure of knowing that you were mistaken. You don't need the music to stop, Earl. You don't. You want it to go on forever.
I
You
am
want
the
to be
music.
part. You
I
are part
am.
of this
I
music.
have become the music.
And you know are remain there on the floor with your blue green face and your joyful, vaguely face shaped expression, and we return to Norm. And I forgot where we left you, but it wasn't anywhere good.
No, damn sure wasn't.
I had fumbled by asking if the woman was Mary.
That's
and
right.
Looking up at her.
That's right. And because you asked her name, she gives you a gift, and it's a little bit hard to process. But she wants you to know who she is. She wants you to understand what's happening here, what's beginning to happen in Arkham, and you feel the strings continue to swell, but not just swell in volume, but swell in intensity, swell in feeling, swell in emotion. You have this huge upwelling of emotion. The first time you've seen a sunrise, the first time you won an award for your photograph, the first time that someone noticed you, Norman, the first time that you had the barest 1/10 millionth feeling of what it's like to be worshipped.
Oh.
The
Oh.
first taste of glamour, the first taste of fame, the first taste of stardom, but the way that like an actual star might perceive stardom if it were conscious. And this vast cosmic desire to be loved, to be appreciated, to be desired, to be the center of things, the way a black hole might be the center of things. And I don't know if that knowledge is any comfort to you, but it may be a comfort to the viewers that it won't matter for much longer.
You're basically telling me I'm blissed out on a cosmic level, and I think he's probably going to be pretty okay with that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You got off light, Norm.
Holy shit. And that, friends of Symphony, is where our show ends for the night. Holy Woo! Arkham went hard. Thank you so much for everyone who joined in or is currently watching the replay. You guys are indeed the best part of waking up, and we sincerely appreciate you. Drum roll, I am getting ready to pull the giveaway for the winner that is going to be getting a hard copy of Chaosium's newest supplement, Arkham, signed by this entire cast. We are pulling the giveaway in 5, 4. I just clicked the button. Who won? Ha ha! Don't stop me now. Who is going to be at Chaosium Con with us? We need to get like a whole group selfie. Congratulations, yes. Congratulations. Guys, where are we right now? We have done the giveaway. We are going to empty out the auditorium. So let us go around one more time and say goodnight to our symphonic cast, starting with Bucho. Hit us quick, hit us dirty. Who are you? Where can people find you? And how do you feel about your cosmic bliss?
I'm Bucho. I feel pretty good about my cosmic bliss as far as endings go. As far as descriptors go, also pretty great. You can find all of my stuff at the link tree in the chat. You can also go buy my latest book of dark surrealist horror short stories called Under a Black Rainbow. It's on Amazon exclusively.
Amazing. Mike, tell us who you are, where people can find you, and how do you feel about being demolecularized, if that's a word, and becoming the music?
I love becoming the music. I think that is awesome. And I will say you've given me another scenario idea, not to do with this one, but it sparked another idea in my head. And I've just been working on it, thinking about that as we play. So that's double bubble for me. You can find me at chaosium.com. You can find me at eldritchstories.com. You can, Chaosium, Call of Cthulhu, you'll find me on Blue Sky and what the hell it's called now, and all the usual places. And so Chaosium Con or Necronomicon or Chaosium Con Australia.
Hey!
I am everywhere at the same time because I am the music.
You are the music. You are the music. Evan, tell us who you are, where people can find you, and how you feel about doing us this dirty.
Yeah, this was wonderful. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. The best thing a keeper can have is a group that when you say, "Look, go get yourself in trouble," they do that. Um, Mike, thank you, and thank you to the team, and thank you to Doc Herber for the book. It is a wonderful book. It is so useful. It is really given me an interest in Arkham that I didn't have before,
Mm-hmm.
and has made me want to play in here. I'm sorry, I think I just destroyed your town, but it's 1922. They can rebuild.
Hey, it's your Arkham now. You can do what the hell you like with it.
Oh.
You can
Thanks for the
find me
game.
on-
It was great fun. Thank you,
Yeah,
and
thank
really
you.
really really cool.
Yeah,
Oh.
find me on Discord, find me on Facebook, find me at Chaosiumcon. So that's it.
Symphony, we love your face. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for your support. Mike, thank you so much for joining us for the first time. You are absolutely brilliant. It was so hard for me not to. I work with you, and I'm still over here fangirling like I'm in a game with Mike Mason. I'm in a game with Mike Mason. Hey, guys, we hope you've enjoyed the Symphony. We look forward to seeing you again. And instead of saying have a wonderful night, I'm going to leave you guys with splooshing wounds and pulling a fried egg through a hole.
Mhm.
Y'all live with that the way we have to live with it. Good night. Mwah.